do, I think the next thing that I need to do, it is to share my screen. So guys, I'm going to firstly touch on parts of the introductory sessions where Honorable members indicated that they are to jump onto the advanced sessions or problems related to advanced sessions. Then once that part is done, I will therefore give you guys an opportunity to ask the questions according to what you are struggling with. So to the new ones, how it works is that you will only be invited after I've noticed that you need attention on something. Otherwise, if not, you will not be invited. And that's if you are getting at least 60%, obviously on certain topics. Okay, Bayanda, please remain muted, honorable member. Nyaki, it looks like I will need to forcefully mute all and then make one of you guys the co-host. Where do I do that? As mute all. And then allow participants to unmute themselves. Let me just say no for now because I want to do a presentation without being disturbed. So just in case if my screen disappears, I'll just make the co-host. Nick has been assigned as the co-host. Let me make you the co-host. Okay. So Nyaki and Langlihle, they definitely do know very well what to do. So guys, without wasting much of our precious time, someone indicated under introductory lessons that they did lesson 6 and question number 8 troubled them, which is what I'm going to therefore look at. And that question, it was 5, where they minus that and that over 3, and that was equated to 2. Look at how easy that was. First thing first, every time as a mathematician, you need to ask yourself a question to say, what type of a math problem is this? Is it an equation or is it an expression? You see an equal sign, it means it's an equation, then it means you need to solve. You can do it in many ways, but most importantly, you just need to make sure that you have letters on the left, numbers on the right as your final answer. So in other words, it means all the numbers to the right-hand side, all the letters, or whatever that is attached to a letter must be on the left. So that means on the left, this is what remains. And then you are having that 2 where you minus the 5. You must just always remember to minus. But now, I think we can simplify this one on the right and say this is negative 3. Remember, guys, if I make a mistake, please leave me alone with my mistakes and try to look at how I recover from my mistakes. So the main aim is for us to make as many mistakes as we can during these lessons so that you don't repeat those in your exam. Okay, most importantly, remember something very much important regarding this negative. That's what caused the confusion. If you have 1 over 2, let's say negative 1 over 2, this negative can belong to 1 over 2, it can belong to 1, it can belong to that, which means it can be a negative that over that. It is still the same as 1 over negative that. It is still the same as negative 1 over 2. So in case if you have it, which way it's safer to write? Always write it this way. It's very, very much safe. You will not go wrong when you do it that way. Doesn't mean if you do it any other way, it will be wrong. Again, with you having this negative, you can remove that negative by dividing both sides by that negative. Otherwise, you can change the position, take the whole of that fraction to the other side, change that to the other side. So not necessarily in this type of a problem, but with any, that means you can say positive 3 equals x plus 1 over 3. Can you see? You just don't want to be dealing with the negatives. Most importantly, if you have a fraction on the other side, force this one to be a fraction. How do you force it? You divide it by 1. Why would you force it to be a fraction? So that you can cross multiply. That's the only way it will easily make sense when you cross multiply, to say this one multiplies the whole of that. So that means by right, it is supposed to be 1 into the whole of that. You put inside the brackets because it's more than 1 term. But this one of 3 by 3, you can just easily write it like that. So if it wasn't 1, but it was a different number or a letter, it would therefore be that by that, where you end up being x plus 1. It should definitely be equal to that. Obviously, you take this to the other side, and then you have that being equals to 10. I think that should be the end of it. Maybe let me just leave it there and continue. We will revisit that in case if I made a mistake. But another one watched lesson 9 and they got troubled by the first problem of that test, number 9, where for number 9, remember, I'm still under introductory sessions, which concerns everyone. So this is what we are having, honorable member. Again, ask yourself this question. What type of math problem is this? Is it an equation? Is it an expression? It's an equation. Why? Because I see an equal sign, which means I'm going to solve. What am I solving? We always solve for the unknown. Unknown is always represented by a letter of A up to Z, unless if it's an angle, which could be theta, alpha, beta, or whatever the case may be. But it makes it easier when we solve for a letter. In most cases, they love using letter X. That is why in this case, we are therefore going to be solving for letter X. Okay, if that is the case, then is this a linear equation? Is it a quadratic equation? Is it a cubic equation? Or I'm not sure if there is phobic, but let's say, is it a phobic equation? 5 big, 6 big, 7 big. Yeah, no, now I think I'm exaggerating. Okay, so it looks like it's none of those, because when we look at this, we realize the unknown is in the position of the exponent. So we have what we call a base, we have an exponent. The whole of this is called a power. So the unknown, if it's in that position of the exponent, it means we will therefore have to apply the laws of exponents. So that's how you know and understand the type of a math problem that you are dealing with. So now you need to be able to apply the laws of exponents. Where now, looks like here, you might need to say that by that, which will give you 3 to the exponent of 2x, which will be equals to 81. You might need to rewrite it differently, where definitely it has to be 3 to the exponent of something. So let me quickly check. 81 to the exponent, or not 81, but 3 to the exponent. Test with 4. Yes, with 4 it does allow. The main aim here is just to have the same basis, which will fall away and then equate the exponents, which means now this is what you are having. You need to detach this 2 because it is attached to a letter that you are looking for. The only way to detach is to divide by exactly that, so that it cancels, and then you've got your letter there being equals to that. And that should be the end of it. While we are still on this one, honorable members, what I realize is that sometimes you are given, let's say, I'll keep it simple and say 2, maybe let's say y to the exponent of 2, and then this is to the exponent of 3. Doesn't matter whether you have to simplify or you have to solve for the unknown. But what matters the most is for you to be able to know that inside the brackets, how many bases are you having there? Is it 1 base? Is it 2 bases? Is it 3 bases? Looks like it's 2. It is 2 different bases. Each base has an exponent. Wait. Why is this thing doing that? Let me quickly check. I don't know why. Everyone else is struggling to join. I really do not know why. Okay, it looks like the honorable members have joined. I'll just continue. I'll just continue. Maybe let me do this. Maybe let me do this. Don't know, but it looks like the others are struggling to join, and I just checked, and it looks like everyone managed to join. Okay, then it's fine. I think I did what I wanted to do. I'll just continue and touch on this most important part where I was explaining to say, in case if you are given something of this nature, where inside the brackets you've got two different bases. The law says if you have base, maybe let me use letter N, say base A, which is multiplying a different base to the exponent of whatever. This exponent, it multiplies this exponent and that exponent. So that means this thing, it has to be 2 to the 3, multiplying y to the 2 times 3. So the mistake that you make, it is to only say 2 and then you say y. You take that 2, you multiply it by 3. So that's where you get it wrong. Okay, let me just continue. Then let's see. What will be the next problem under lesson 9? It's number 6. Okay. Let me quickly jump onto that problem. Yeah, now I had to go out because someone was saying they're struggling to join. But I think it's understandable because you are joining for the first time through the website. But all along, I think it has been me sending the thing in the group. Okay, lesson number 9, problem number 6. Okay, let's see. So problem number 9, test number 9, lesson number 6, this is where you are having that where it minuses that, which is equals to 1 over 16. Okay, then it's fine. So it can be worked out in many ways. Obviously, 4 being the base, then we are having 1 over 16. Definitely, it can be written as that. Remember, the main aim is for you to have exactly the same basis. How are you going to do it? Then you have that minusing that, which should be equals to by right. This one has to go and join that numerator. It is actually supposed to be 1 or numerator multiplying this denominator, but the exponent of that denominator changes. So that one, we can just not write it because 1 can exist as invisible 1, which means now we have that to the that. Can you see the bases are the same? That's what we wanted to do. We just wanted the base to be the same. Now that they are the same, honorable member, if you do not want to confuse yourself, if you have a negative letter, you are allowed to take it to the other side. You know, if it crosses the border, it changes the currency. So that means you've got that one. The number you will take it to the other side, it becomes positive 2, which will be equals to 3. And then not 3, but 3 being equals to x. Remember, I've always been saying it's like you saying, what is it? Dineo is my name, but when you write it like this, you are saying my name is Dineo. Whichever way you write it, it should be fine. Okay, again, number 10, not really sure, but with regards to number 10, it should be the same way you are having that, which will be equals to that. Obviously, you have one base that multiplies with that, and then you've got 2x there, and then you have 1 over, definitely that should be 25, where now you have to work towards making the basis being the same. That changes the exponent. Bases are the same, they fall away. What you do is to equate the exponents. Now you detach, that cancels with that. Definitely that over that will be -1, and that should be the end of it. So I've got one more, and then from there I will check if there are others with the question. So remember, honorable members, the first part of this lesson, I'm focusing on introductory sessions. And then when it comes to the second part of it, those who are on introductory sessions will be welcome to excuse those who will continue with advanced sessions. And then if you like, you can still remain. Otherwise, you can just, if it's your first time, start with your day one, lesson one. If not, you can continue wherever you are. And then some of you guys will therefore prepare to write your short exam exactly at 8 o'clock. Just remind me to update the website so that it doesn't request for the password on the exam, because I've made a password there so that you don't access the question way ahead of time. So Nyaki the Manyakis, just make sure you and Langlitle to finish this lesson anytime before, not anytime before, yes, anytime before 5 minutes to 8, so that I can update the website for it not to request for the password. And I'm sure you've seen where you have to write or where you access your question paper. Lesson 3. Not lesson 3, yes, test for lesson 3. Then number 6, yes. Yes. I do want to touch on this one. You have -1k there that you plus it with 8 over, let's say,
Yeah.
I. Langlitle,
Could you please repeat what you said earlier?
so I was saying this session, we have to make sure that at or before 7:55, we are done. So let's keep track of time so that I'm going to update you have to access your short exam for today. Yes, I'll just have to also show you where you access it. So where you joined for this session for today, the button below is the one where you will write the exam. Hope that part makes sense, honorable members.
Yes, it makes sense.
Okay. But why are these people struggling to join? I think I know why. It's probably because they are trying to join the other session, or they're trying to use the link they normally use to join for that. Yeah, maybe for next lessons, I'll just have to use that same one. Yeah. Okay, then it's fine. Where was I? Okay, this is what I wanted to talk about, honorable members, to say, you look at this, you realize you don't have an equal sign. If you don't have an equal sign, it means it is an expression. It's not an equation, it's an expression. Simplify. So this thing, don't worry that much about it being in the form of a fraction. Think of it as this, as you having -2 plus 4. This thing is the same as +4 minus 2. It's exactly the same thing. It's the same as 4 minus 2. If you punch this on your calculator, it will definitely give you 2. So the same applies here, honorable member. If it's given in this format where they start with a negative, you can rewrite it as 8 over I, where we minus 1 over k. Same principle. Then from there, you will do that, and then you multiply those, becoming ik. I'm not sure which letter comes first, but what I recommend is that if you are multiplying a by k, rather start with a and say ak, because alphabetically A comes first. Okay, then you will cross multiply K multiplying that, then gives you 8K. What sign are you writing? You write this one that you are having there, then 1 times that, it becomes 1 that. This should be the end of it. But in a situation where now you are given, let's say, 2 over K, and then now they minus 1 over, let's say, T. So you see, both are in negatives. You can't run away from this one. So what happens is most of you now gets confused by that negative sign. Remember what I said, that negative can belong to the numerator, it can belong to the denominator. So for this type of a problem, assign it to the numerator. So in other words, I'm saying take it to that -2 and then say over K, then you say minus, you have T over, not T, but 1 over T, 1 over T. Then from there, you can easily do your thing and say KT. I'm not sure if it's T, K, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T. So KT, yes. That times that, it becomes -2T, and then that times that, the sign, obviously, that one of the minus, and then becomes -1 that. This should be the end of it, honorable members or members who are honorable. What else do I want to talk about? Now I'm adding my own because I've addressed all that you guys indicated. So remember, when you submit your work, there is a question there which says, which questions did you get wrong? So you need to list those and say, for example, number 2, I got it wrong, number 3, I got it wrong, 7, I got it wrong, all of that. That is the information that I used to know that you did lesson 3, which is about these topics, and you got question 7 and 8 wrong. Then those will be covered. So if you put 0 there, it tells me that you may have failed, but with you putting 0, it means you did fail, yes, but it's not like those questions were difficult. You just made small mistakes which you realized, and therefore that's why you did not indicate to say these are the questions that I got wrong. I'm not talking about where you say I got 5 correct, I got 4 wrong. I'm talking about that one which says which questions did you get wrong? Not the how many, but which questions did you get wrong? Then you just tick on those, tick, 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 or you check, check, check. Yes, so you put 0, most of you, even though you failed. Okay, so let's say now you have 2. It doesn't matter whether it's positive or negative. Guys, please be aware that every number starts with a sign. Every number starts with a sign. So if we have 2 into let's say x, that we plus it by 1, and then here you can be having that. So this number, it starts with an invisible positive there. So even if it's not that, it would be negative. Whatever that it is there, we follow the same process. You can just say that and then have that big bracket where you do that by that, that by that, and you do that by that, that by that. So you might be having that, you might be having that, you might be having that, you might be having that. Then next thing that you need to do is to work out the like terms, which is that, where you might be having that, and you minus it by that. Most importantly, the last step, that's when you do that by that, that by that, that by that, and you might be having that, that, and that. This should be the end of it because this is not an equation where you need to say this is equals to x and wara wara and all of that. You just leave it like this because all that you had to do, it was to simplify. Okay, then it's fine. I'm now going to allow you guys to rise on point of orders based on whatever that you did and all of that. There are 2 lessons only. Okay, this one is asking about something else. Okay, it's definitely the new ones. So let's see, guys. What am I going to do now? I think what I want to do is to unmute Yes. I'm just going to say ask to unmute. Okay, guys, based on what I've explained, anyone who's got a question related to introductory sessions, but before you ask, let me just make you guys aware to say for this lesson, there are people who were invited because they indicated they are struggling with certain parts of the lessons. So that's what we are doing now. We are solving the problems, honorable members. Okay. Anyone who's got a question, honorable members, or are we now jumping onto advanced sessions problems?
I understand everything.
Language is okay. Guys, anyone with a question? So the question that I'm expecting is if you are in day one or between or from day 1 to day 10 and you were doing something, you got confused or you did not understand or you tried to work it out, you got it wrong, this is the chance for you to ask about it. Otherwise, if all is okay or you will still try to work it out on your side, is still fine. Any questions, honorable members or members who are honorable? Yes, who's speaking now? Is it a question coming through?
Yes, sir. It's iPhone Yons that's speaking.
Yes.
So the question I had was that for number 3, I started to notice that for the negative numbers, it said here -2 over m minus 7 over n. The correct answer is -2n minus 7m over
Let me do this. So you
mn.
are still on this one of the fractions.
Yes, sir. I just
Okay,
got
yes.
confused. Because
Okay,
there was also
fine.
another example over here by 12 that you don't put the negative, and the answer was 3b over bc minus 7c. So I'm confused that why by 3 you state it as a -2 9 minus 7m over mn, but for 12 it's 3b minus 7c over bc. That's what confused me.
So are you referring to the answers or the working out?
Both, sir.
Okay, so it's fine. Maybe let me work out this one, and then when we get to the end, if it's different from what you expected or what you're comparing it to, you will let me know. So maybe let me move at a speed of light and say this one, I will just rewrite it nicely like that. Yes, like that. And then maybe let's say BC because B comes first. And cross multiply, we'll say 3B. Cross multiply, we'll say minus 7C. This is it, honorable member. So otherwise, if you did not rewrite it, then it means you can still deal with it the way in which it is. Let's say there you put that. I'm just saying you work it out as it is, like this, that over that. Then it means you can still write your BC there. You cross multiply, you have your negative 7C, and then that means here you will have plus 3B. Trust me when I say this part, it is exactly the same as that, which is what I was explaining to say. When you have 2 minus 4, this thing it is still the same as minus 4 plus 2. So are you sorted on this one, honorable member? Yons?
She's gone.
You can unmute one. Everyone else must remain muted. Okay, Yons is fine. Okay. Any other questions, honorable members, based on whatever that you struggled with? Or are we all okay? Okay. We are probably okay. Remember, in case if you don't have any questions at this stage, it is still fine. It is still fine because you will come across those challenges and you will have a chance to ask on the next session where you'll be invited. Otherwise, remember, you don't have to wait for the next weekend. During the weekdays, between 7 and 8, you can just join and say, I'm on lesson 3 and there is this thing that is confusing me. And then you just join and then we deal with it decisively. Okay, someone was saying there is only 2 physics lessons. Oh yes, there's only 2 physics lessons. So more lessons will be added. Because the whole of last year, I've been keeping record of all that we have been doing. So I am going to add some more topics so that you've got multiple choice. The one that I'm sure that I'm going to be adding, which should be available on Monday, should be number patterns, sequence, and series. I realize some of you guys have started with it. So I only started with the difficult ones under advanced session. So if you can master trigonometry, I'm telling you, honorable member, you are going very far with your paper 2 of mathematics. Trigonometry and Euclidean geometry, those 2, you can master those 2, you are definitely going far. But for now, I'll be focusing on the ones that you say, that's what you have started with in your school. So as you submit, there's going to be a question which says, what is your teacher currently doing? Then you can just state for maths and physics if you are doing both. And that's how we'll know exactly what you are busy with, and then I'll prepare content for that. Because remember, the preparation that I do, it is a combination of the lesson, the question paper, and the memo. So it does take some time to prepare one. But some topics are not that much complicated. They are not that long, unlike trig. So what I'm going to do, I will just have an introductory or an introduction, put it there. And then the next lesson, it's solving, and then you'll be having some more problems to solve each day. Okay, I've now jumped to the advanced sessions, which is based on trigonometry. So in case if you are still on introductory sessions, it's fine. You may leave and continue. Otherwise, if you decide to remain, it's fine. And those who I can advise to remain is the grade 10, 11, and 12, because yeah, you will do trigonometry, even though you may not understand. But remember, this lesson is designed to attend to those who submitted and said, I got stuck here and here, or I did not perform well, and I went wrong here in lesson what? Someone lesson 21. Yo, I was very far. Lesson 21, that means I have to go to test number 21. Okay, here's test 21. Then what? Number 2. Okay, number 2. Okay, I see what's happening there. So this is what happens, honorable member. It's just 2 questions under advanced sessions, which I'm going to be attending to, because it's only 2 set for lesson 21 and lesson 18. And these are the things that I'm struggling with. Let me actually start with this one so that I follow the order. Lesson 18, number 6. Lesson 18, number 6, I will assume it's letter 6, because here's this one. It is in letters. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, the one for number 6, you. Yeah, no, this one is scary. This one is scary. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, no, I'm not counting. Oh, yes. A, B, C, D, E. Where's F? E, A, B, C. Oh, D, E, F. Oh, yes. Okay. Now I see. It's actually F being number 6. Okay, no. Now I'm relieved because, yeah, these things are mooring, honorable members. You are not the only one who's getting moored. Even the ones who are experienced, they do get moored, honorable member, big time. Big time. Okay, so what are we doing here? Prove that the following statements are identities. So that means we need to prove that this side is equals to that side. Okay. I'm definitely going to start on the left-hand side to see if I simplify the left-hand side, it will end up being equals to that. Where is the starting point? I would start by rewriting that tan. So that means we have that you plus it with, obviously here, it's sine squared. Since that one is that, then it means we are having what is it? Okay, it looks like it's taking me back to tan because this is what I was thinking of doing. And I realized that it's not like I'm in a situation where I will have to cancel sine with sine. Okay, then it's fine. Another option is to take out something as common factor. What can be taken out as common factor? It looks like it is sine that can be taken out as common factor, which means I will therefore have sine squared of an angle. Then I remain with 1 there that I plus it with. What will I remain with there? It will definitely be that tan, of which I've just indicated that the tan it is still the same as sine squared theta over a cos squared theta. Yes. So, okay, on the outside, we still have that sine squared of an angle. Inside here, the reason why with the introductory sessions, I'm teaching you how to deal with the fractions. It's because I know that you will get to this point where you need to deal with the fractions, where you force that one to be a fraction. Then this one again, you force it to also be a fraction. So you will no longer be dealing with the k, the p, the j, and all of that, but it will now be in a form of a sign. Let's see, when we do this one, in there, we end up having, can still approach it that same way where we say that and that ends up being a cos squared of an angle. And then what do? You cross multiply, isn't it? You remember, most where that multiplies with that, then that multiplies with that. So you end up having your cos squared of an angle there that you need to plus it with your sine squared of an angle there. I believe we're still together up to this point, honorable member. And so you still have your sine squared of an angle. Trust me when I say this thing, you must always remember that it's equals to 1. You remember, most we said sine squared of an angle plus cos squared of an angle is equals to 1. They even give it to you in the formula sheet. Doesn't matter whether you say cos squared plus sine squared or sine squared plus cos squared. As long as it is that, it will always be equals. So that means, in other words, we actually have 1 at the top over cos squared of an angle. The nice thing about trigonometry is that when you get closer to the answer and you can smell it, yes, as you become very, very happy, honorable member, because all that you need to do now is to multiply that with that, and you end up having a sine squared of an angle, then that is being divided by cos of an angle. Trust me, when I say sine over cos, it will always be tan, but because it's squared, then it means it will therefore be tan squared. Can you see? You've just proven that this whole thing, it is indeed equals to that. And then in the end, with a big smile, just say, indeed, the left-hand side equals the right-hand side. So the reason why I said, even though some of you, the advanced lessons, you might not be what do I want to say? Consent, yes, as far as I'm concerned. Okay. The reason why I said just remain is because I wanted you to be aware that whatever that you are doing, it leads to where now you deal with the surnames such as cause, surnames such as sign, and such as ton. But if you look at this thing, the whole of this thing, I'm telling you, it is the same as you having k squared there, where inside you just have p squared that is being added by, it's an again, then k squared that is being divided by p squared. Otherwise, if we remove the squared, then it ends up becoming this. That's all that you are having, but in this case, it's now in the form of a cos, sine, and tan. You just need to know what is that. And then in terms of the working, it follows the same principle, honorable member. That is why you will find someone saying, I'm in grade 10, 11, or 12, and I'm struggling, and their problems are not there because they don't teach this type of things in those grades. So that's why you will always, 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 and forever be lost. Very much important, honorable member, that every time there's a math lesson you just join, do not ask for which grade is this and all of that. If you have problems, just join, and those problems will be solved. Otherwise, if you do not have any problems, you can just join for inspiration. But those who struggles will therefore be invited to just clarify in preparation for the upcoming either exam, test, whatever the case may be. Okay, maybe let me ask to say, did you guys have any questions for me regarding that one, or are you happy with that calculation? This one is in grade 8 or 9. I forgot about. Guys, do you have any questions for me, or are you all okay on that one? No questions I asked you. One says, I wonder, otherwise, if not, it's still fine. But I think, let me give you guys an opportunity to ask me some questions, if you've got any. Anyone who's got a question for me related to any lesson that you've watched? Is there any question that is troubling you that we need to deal with decisively?
Sir,
Yes, go for it. Who's speaking now?
Slanglitle.
Yes, Langlihle. Go for it, honorable member.
I want to ask, may you please do a question for lesson 7?
For lesson 7, let me quickly go there. Am I disconnected? Let me check. No, I'm still here. Langlihle, are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay, Mancha. Question 2, lesson 14. Okay, Mancha noted. Yes, Langlihle, which one?
May you please explain number dy D, yeah, letter D and H.
Let's see, we have D and H there. Okay, maybe very quickly. And that one of D is 8, tan of an angle, where we plus 15, which is equals to 0. And they're saying this thing is the element of 90 degrees, and then again 270 degrees, and they want you to find tan squared A, and then nope, sine theta plus cos that, and then that also. Okay, so remember, the moment you are given this type of a problem, what you want to do is to make sure that you just have tan or sine on the left-hand side alone. Could be tan, sine, or cos. 15 goes to the left, I mean to the right. It changes the sign, it becomes that. Then you divide both sides by 8. Then that 8 cancels. Then you have tan of an angle, which is equals to negative that over that. So the question is, what is the ratio for tan? Definitely the ratio for tan, it will be y over x. Then you check based on this. They are saying look between 90 and 270 degrees. So that means you need to find a quadrant either there or there. How are you going to know which quadrant it is? Let's see. Then you will have to choose where the negative goes. Let's see. I hope I have copied it correctly. Yes, 270 determined by means of a diagram. That yes. Okay, then it's fine. So the question now is, will our right-angled triangle fall in the second quadrant, or will it be in the third quadrant? It would be in this quadrant if we had a positive fraction there, because a positive fraction would mean a negative y value over a negative x value. Then that's when it would be in this quadrant. But in this situation where this negative can either belong to that or it can either belong to that, it means it has to be in the second quadrant. And in the second quadrant, that is where now we are having a positive y value and we are having a negative x value. So that means the negative goes to the denominator and the positive goes to that, where now you will therefore have your right angle triangle in there, whereby your y side is 15, your x side, it is the one being negative 8. Then you will easily use theorem of Pythagoras to find that side. Once you have completed that part, then it means you can start answering the questions, where the first question, they want you to work out sine of an angle plus cos of an angle. Obviously, you did introductory sessions, and we know that sine of an angle is y over r, that you plus it with x over r, whereby now you just substitute what is your that value and what is your that value, you plus it with what is that value, what is that value, you deal with it the same way we were doing the introductory sessions related to the fractions. So even though I did not work it out langliche, I'm pretty much sure that you can still access that recording and just nicely go through the whole of it and redo the examples that I've done. But maybe before I try to check this other honorable member, do you have an idea of what I have done there, Langlihle? Or have you got a follow-up question on that one?
No, I believe I understand. But I just
You
want to inform you that some people have questions in the chat for the Zoom meeting.
okay? Okay, let me quickly check. It's fine. So the other one that you wanted 3 days, you can still join. We'll attend to that. I'm just checking time now. Someone is saying I need help with lesson 5 B test. Elaborate on how you got that at that and that. Okay, then it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. The exam that you're going to be writing today is not related to advanced sessions. It's related to your question 1 of your exam papers. So all these that you guys are raising now, I therefore see the need to have separate sessions where on the next session, we will just have a session related to advanced topics, and then the other one will be related to introductory sessions. Because I realize you are now having the questions and it looks like it is that time for the exam. So it's fine. We will therefore continue accordingly. But for now, let me just quickly ask you guys to say, are you guys ready for the exam? Do you know where you find your exam?
So may I please
Yes,
ask a question?
No, I don't.
There's someone saying I don't. Just below where you joined the is, you click on learners portal. What happened? Did this thing kick me out? So you click, okay, this one I might need to refresh. Okay, now it's fine. Let's go back. So this is where it is. You click on learners portal and there is your weekend short exam. Can you see it's counting down 2 minutes time. 2 minutes time you should be starting, and then all that you do is just to click there on start your short exam. You write. After that, you come back to this one of submit. You click on that one. That's where you'll find whatever that is there for you, and then you deal with it decisively, and then you submit accordingly, and that should be it. Page available for everyone. So are you guys now able to access or see where your test is located?
yes.
Okay, then it's fine, honorable members. I will leave it here and say until we meet again.
Say.
I will definitely on the next lesson. Is it someone who wants to say something?
Yes, sir.
Now, lady, is it you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, go for it.
So it needs a password.
Yes, I've just updated it now. You can just refresh, and then after refreshing, you should be able to access it. So the reason why I did the password, it was just so that you don't see the paper before.
No problem, sir. Thank you.
Okay, then it's fine. I'll be waiting to see as you submit, honorable members. Best of luck.